Greetings, listeners. This is Thrice, a Sinister Siblings podcast about horror movies, where we review a horror movie not once, not twice, but thrice. This evening, we're staying out of the light, we're keeping dry, and we're definitely not eating anything after midnight.
No.
For this special Christmas edition of Thrice Plus, we're doing Gremlins. Yum yum.
Yes.
Oh, my name's Adam. To my left is Mark.
Hello.
And to my right is Tracy.
Hello there.
Gremlins. Merry Christmas, people.
Merry Christmas,
Yes,
everybody.
season's
Yes.
greetings.
Chestnuts roasting by the fire.
Festive tidings.
Gremlins' heads roasting on an open fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woolly jumpers. Snow.
Yes, underage gremlins drinking in a bar.
Or at
Lots
least
of coloured lights.
that's how it would be, where we're not December in Australia, where it's usually
Yes.
quite hot.
Indeed. And it will be quite hot tomorrow.
Indeed.
But not quite hot in the town of Kingston Falls.
No. I would usually give you a spiel right now explaining how the whole podcast works, but because this is a one-off Christmas special, it's a little bit different. But probably the only thing to say is if for some reason you haven't seen Gremlins, there are plenty of spoilers to follow, so go and watch Gremlins now. We'll wait.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay, so Gremlins. Let's just give that a bit of a quick overview, shall we? Shall we? Yes, we shall.
Is there a choice?
Yeah, there's no choice.
Fair
It's
enough.
happening. So, Gremlins. In this classic horror comedy, Gremlins, a young man named Billy receives a cute furry creature called a mogwai, who he calls Gizmo. And he receives him for Christmas. But disaster strikes when he breaks 3 simple rules. Don't get it wet, keep it from bright light, and never ever feed it after midnight. These rules are violated.
Violated.
Yeah, that's a strong word. Causing Gizmo to spawn mischievous, green, monster-like gremlins that wreak havoc and destruction on this small town during Christmas, leading Billy and his friends to try and stop the multiplying horde.
Pretty much.
That's misleading in itself because really no one helps Billy at all.
No,
No.
even the cops.
He has no friends.
Well, he has his girlfriend, Kate,
She doesn't know. She's not.
She got him drunk.
but she helps him in the end.
What did she do though, really?
Well, she was like flicking on lights.
switches.
Yeah.
So, well, first of all,
more than Billy normally did.
Mark, when's the last time you saw this movie?
Jeez. In its entirety, I'm going to say VHS days. I'm going to say maybe late 80s. I would
Okay.
think in between times there's probably been, hey, look, Gremlins is on TV or that sort of thing. Or there's just been various clips of bits you'll have seen and you go, oh, gosh, that's Gremlins. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched it in entirety.
Did you like it when you were a child?
I think so. I think there was that fad where everybody wanted a stuffed Gizmo doll and that kind of thing. So I think Gremlins 2, in fairness, was the bigger thing because I think it was a bit sillier. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing Gremlins 2 at the cinema
Okay.
because I think it came out about 1990-ish or something like that. So I reckon that was
1990,
sort of
yeah.
start of high school.
And that was a good, proper sequel, bigger in every way, and had lots of cool varieties of Gremlins, and there was lots of toys from it. There was the Spider Gremlin and the Crossbow Gremlin, and there's lots of cool movie references in that. I need to watch that again. There's a
did that
lot
whole-
of discourse around Gremlins 2 being this meta commentary on cinema.
Well, there was that fourth wall thing, wasn't there? Where there was
Yeah.
the pretend real break and then the
Yeah.
Gremlins all got, and you were like, and when you were in the cinema, you were like, what is going on?
Yeah. Anyway, that's Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
That is, but back to Gremlins the first.
Gremlins the first. When did you first watch it? Or when did you last watch it?
Well, when did I first watch it? It's an interesting question too. But when did I last watch it? Like I said, in its entirety, probably a while. Probably, yeah. In its entirety, probably in the 90s, I would say. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the stuff, fans, if you can hear the chattering.
You won't be able to hear them. Yeah.
Well, we have lots of fans.
Yeah,
we
what do you
just-
mean?
I'm sure you could hear them.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, for my part in this proceeding, it would literally be, I guess, with Mark on the VHS back in the 80s.
It may have been a Sunday night movie kind of caper,
Maybe.
sort of a kids' Christmassy movie.
Yeah.
Because it was from that beautiful time, and without knowing the full demographics of who's listening, you
Yeah.
go, but if you're in roughly our vintage, which is sort of that 40-ish kind of bracket. You grew up with kids' movies, quote unquote, that were pretty spooky stuff. We had things like The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth and, you know, Return to Oz and these sort of things that were pretty scary things. I mean, Gremlins was very much firmly aimed as being like a PG kind of movie for everyone to watch.
Yeah.
And they have extended sequences of just comedic puppetry in there. But then the other point you go, oh, but don't forget that, you know, that one just killed somebody and, you know, the cop car just flipped, so the cops are dead. And but now it's funny again.
Yeah, no, it's a completely different sensibility. I mean, early on in the piece, Kate talks about how for Christmas isn't good for everybody, and while some people are opening presents, others are opening their wrists. Like you wouldn't have that in a movie
that whole
today.
scene would get cut out of a movie, of a PG movie, probably.
Absolutely, wouldn't happen.
And it's one of those. It is one of those. I think it's the first Amblin movie. It's definitely one of those 80s horror adjacent kids movies that things like Stranger Things riff on so heavily. It's definitely one of those ones. And I remember being kind of scared of it as a kid. Like seeing it the first time, it was like a little kid, like I want to say like, I don't know, 7 or something, 7 or 8. And I was like not really a good horror kid really. So I was kind of scared of watching Gremlins first time around, I think.
Well, they certainly positioned it, and even with the end, I mean, we're jumping all over at the moment, but even at the end where they're like, if this happens in your house, you could have a gremlin in. And you're just like, that's not a Merry Christmas, everyone, and to all good night. It's like, hey, just by the way, check your bed before you go to sleep.
I do like how it sets it up like that, like a fable. Like the guys, I've got a story for you. Everyone's got a story, but this is my story, kind of thing. It's
I'd love it if we actually got the proper narration of that, where you actually went, so here's my story. I'm a loser dad, and I'm never home, and I just bought my kid the bizarrest present, and it caused the deaths of lots of people and millions of dollars of destruction.
My hubris
so that's
destroyed
my
my
story.
time. Yeah.
They're talking about dad. It just came to me while watching this. There was a bit in the 80s where we had that trope of the bumbling inventor.
Yeah.
You know, you had Doc Brown and you had the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids guy. And, like, it seemed every other movie you're watching was like, who's dad? Dad's in the attic making crazy crap.
Making stuff.
And they're never any good at it. And then something flukes.
Yeah.
You know, he goes from one moment, it's, you know, I can't make a thing that juices an orange. And then the next moment it's like, oh, but, you know, I've discovered this bizarre creature.
Yeah. I've made a time machine. It's true. There was a fascination with like inventing things. It's got something to do with maybe 80s optimism, maybe. I don't know.
Was it optimistic in the 80s? I thought that was really the latchkey kids and the Reagan era, and everyone
it was
like,
money. It was excess.
Yeah,
it was like the Wall
the
Street.
greed is good stuff.
Greed is good. Like it was all big money for a long time, I think.
But also just like, I don't know, maybe there was just like a fascination with innovation and being cool and new things and new technologies.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Technology was starting to speed up.
I guess
at that
you get into
point.
cell phones and things in that period, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, so it was starting to be, this is the future and we're all going to be inventing all these great things and life's going to be so much more simple. And so I think perhaps, it does underlie a lot of it.
Before AI began to deliver on that promise and become a hellscape that we're in now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Now, I've got to ask a question. Would you fire Billy from the bank?
For bringing the dog to
What
work?
the hell who brings their dog to an office?
Yeah, chained him up underneath the counter. I didn't realise that, the dog wasn't supposed to be there. No one knew the dog was there.
How did they even not know the dog was there?
Yeah,
But why would have even said, you know what's a good idea? I'll take my dog to work. Not even like I'll put him out the back in some garden area or something, but he can just sit at my feet all day.
Yeah, because Mum's at home all day.
Yeah.
Like she could look after him, but no, I'm going to take him to
I don't
work.
think it's a sackable offence.
Oh, no, I can't go with you on that one. Like when they were trying to paint this thing and they're like, look at the mean lady with Mrs. Deagle.
Oh, you're with Mrs. Deagle.
I'm with Mrs. Deagle. They're all like, and Judge Reinhold's there going like, I'm going to be a millionaire at 30. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, that's valid. Listen to Judge Reinhold because he's saying, dude, you're bringing a clip-on tie and you're bringing your puppy to work.
Yeah, well, he's a
What
small
is
town
happening?
guy. He's a small town guy. That's where
Yuppie
the.
scum.
Well, he shouldn't even be going as Billy anymore. He's a grown-up.
But it's very reminiscent.
He shouldn't be wearing a clip-on tie. I will give you that.
It kind of like foreshadows the movie The Wedding Singer, where you've got Adam Sandler, who's sort of in a similar thing, small town guy. He's just happy. Well, he's not happy, but he's doing the wedding singer thing. And you've got Billy, small town guy in the bank. He's just got his dog. He's just doing his thing, trying to keep his family. I really saw parallels with that and with like the Judge Reinhold character with Drew Barrymore's fiance in The Wedding Singer as well.
Glenn.
Glenn
Goulia.
Oh, Glenn Goulia.
Odd that that's
Julia Goulia.
odd that that's the movie you'd come to. I mean, that's just like, that's a trope that's in all kinds of things.
Yeah,
It's
no,
sort
but
of-
I guess it's that 80s vibe as well.
Yeah.
But another film, well, a couple of films that this reminded me of, which I'm sure it did you as well, was, of course, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And that actually plays on the television in the kitchen at their home. But Mrs. Deagle, I mean, the fact Billy works at the bank, he's a small town guy. It's a, it's a really sort of like lovely sort of community. And you've got Mrs. Deagle, who's this horrible sort of...
So was she meant to be like the grumpy old guy from It's a Wonderful
I
Life?
think so.
she was
Or
like Ebenezer
reminiscent.
Scrooge.
'Cause they half take-
and Scrooge as well. That was my other film that you
Yeah.
would reference. She's also the Scrooge character
Because they sort
as
of
well.
half paint this concept like, the lady's like, can you talk to her like she's like the chief shareholder or the decision maker for the bank or something somehow. So
Yeah, swans into the
So
bank
she's
and
like-
throws her weight around. And also,
like Mr. Potter.
yeah, and also, yeah, Potter's Fields. And then where you've got where the girl from The Howling, actually, with her two little kids, approaches Mrs. Deagle at the front of the bank, and that's very reminiscent of Scrooge going, "Oh, Mrs. Deagle, can we're not going to get paid,
Arms for the poor.
and she's like, "Nah, get stuffed," and so like, oh, so I thought they were good little tie-ins to add to the Christmas feel.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
I've forgotten how much of a Christmas movie this is. There's
Yeah.
those films out there, and we're not about to get into it, everybody, but when people pick certain films and they'll go, is it or isn't it a Christmas film? This is one I'd always kind of parked on the maybe it is, maybe it isn't type
Yeah,
of thing. And
yeah.
and then watching it, I'm like, it's completely Christmas.
Yeah, it's
the whole
100%
thing's
a
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of adjacent, like it just happened to be a present that he got, but then it wasn't really.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a
But no, like it's Christmas iconography the entire way through.
Christmas
Yeah.
songs.
That's why I
like-
suggested it, because it's like, it's because it's not really marketed as. Yeah, you don't remember it as a Christmas movie because it's not marketed as such, really. It's just like Gremlins. And then you're watching it, it's like, this is very much a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think from what I remember or from what I've read, they had planned for it to be like a Christmas movie release-wise, but then don't quote me, go Google it yourselves, people. But but I believe the studio didn't really have anything to fit into that summer blockbuster slot, so they moved it to a summer release instead.
really?
Yeah, so
Oh,
I suppose it didn't tie into Christmas because it wasn't released at that Christmas period.
yeah.
But it didn't impact it. It was, I think, maybe in the top 3 or 4 films for the year back
yeah,
in '84.
you can see how.
It got released, I think, the same week as Ghostbusters.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How's
Right.
that for a week at the cinema?
Oh my
So it was up
god.
against Ghostbusters. That would have been rough. I wonder which performed better in its first week. Because this was a huge hit.
Yeah, well, I think this had a budget of around somewhere 10 to 12 million, and
Yeah.
I think it made 10 times that.
200 million worldwide.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
big figures.
Yeah. Ghostbusters would have been huge as well.
Mm.
What a bumper week at the cinema that would have been.
But that's Ghostbusters yet again, another horror comedy, kind of aimed at the kids,
Yeah.
kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I
Broad
remember,
appeal.
I remember seeing that in the cinema. I remember
Yeah.
when the librarian ghost at the start, you were just like, I shouldn't be watching this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've both got. I think the thing is, not this is that this is a discussion about Ghostbusters, but it's that, like we spoke about just before, that 80s sentiment where you could make lewd jokes, you could, do really quite sort of graphic, almost like body horror in Gremlins, where you've got, creatures melting and dissolving, and like the mum when she goes on her murdering spree in the house, where she's like, viciously stabbing one, chucking another one in a blender,
Yeah.
in the
No
microwave.
hesitation.
I don't
No
think
hesitation. I love that about it. Love
I don't
that.
think it's
She gets
too
two
She's
knives.
taken them. She
two
kills like
knives
3
and
of them
goes
in like
for
5
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
But
And-
I don't think there's too much of a stretch to say that the gremlin in the microwave is like iconic. It's like an iconic movie scene.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess where I was going with that was that's sort of a similar thing that you would get in Ghostbusters in terms of the visuals and things aimed at children but also aimed at adults, I guess. So the kids are going to take something else, something probably different from it even than what the adults do. But we don't seem to have that kind of thing in the – I mean, not that I'm watching heaps of children's cinema these days, but, yeah, it doesn't seem like we have that anymore. No. Where it's that broad appeal. It's either a kid's film or it's an adult's film.
Well, it seems so much more
or it's just an adult film. I mean, kids' film that adults like.
You know, they take the demographic things and they go, we need a dash of this and a splash of that, and we'll test audience at 15 times and we'll tweak things.
It sort of feels a bit cold and calculated.
It doesn't feel like it's at the artistry. Like the 80s and the 70s as well really had those things where they just kind of went, I've got an idea for a story, let's do it. You know, I mean, and the people involved with this, I mean, you've got Spielberg behind it, you've got Chris Columbus behind it, you've got Joe Dante behind it. You go, you've got people who know how to entertain. And so you got to imagine when they all got together and went, let's do this. I'm sure they must have had such fun putting it all together. Just going, will this even work? Will anyone even want to see this? You know, like, it's a pretty wild idea.
And it kind of, like Jaws before it, I guess, it spurned a whole heap of rip-offs.
No, absolutely it did. How many can you name, Adam?
We were just looking at some.
We were looking at them before. Is it Ghoulies, Critters, Munchies? Was it?
Yeah, there was a Hobgoblins one too. I think there was something like that as well. Everyone just liked those idea of little critters. I think Critters was my favourite of the spin-offs, probably of the
all the way through to
this.
the Pollywog in Stranger Things in present day.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So, who did the musical score for this? The dun 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 dun.
Was it Jerry Goldsmith?
I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
Give us 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure it was.
It's good music.
Because that's iconic in itself.
Yeah.
As well as, I mean, there's a few famous lines from this film.
Jerry Goldsmith did it, man.
Yeah. But there's a few famous lines from this film as well, like the bright light. So I think it's kind of carried over a little bit into, maybe a lot, into pop culture as well, even to this day.
To this day. Now let's pick some holes. There's 3 rules, and I like that we did a movie with 3 rules for Thrice.
Hey.
But there's 3 rules. 2 of them I can get on board with. Bright lights, bad news. You know, basically, as we see...
That sounds like a blues song. Bright lights,
bad news. Bringing my gremlins home. But that one makes pretty much... There's no grey to that. Consistent throughout the film. Bright lights, bad news. Sunlight kills you.
Yeah.
Second one, then, you've got don't get them wet.
Yep.
Yet again, look, I know we had a conversation when we were watching the movie around why isn't the snow doing the same job? I don't know the science of it.
The chemical structure.
I'm not quite sure about how, like, early in the film, like, a drop of water would make Gizmo spurt.
I know.
What, launch?
I think I know what this is.
But the third one's... Are you okay there with your Gizmo? That you're going to spurt water yourself, are you?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
But so a drop of water was enough to get Gizmo going.
Yes.
But then, like, even towards the end in the climactic thing, like, I always called him Spike ever since I was a kid. Stripe is in the fountain. And it's just maybe thinking about doing something. I'm like, oh, okay. But the third rule, don't feed them after midnight. Till when?
Yeah, when does it tick over?
When are you allowed to feed them again? Is it like McDonald's breakfast? Like,
I thought the same thing. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it would have to be? It would have to be from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. you can feed them. From 12 a.m. to midday, you can't feed them.
And then what time zone? Just in the US alone, there's like 6 time zones or something.
It's hard, isn't it?
If you had an Australian Mogwai in Perth,
yes, I know. It's 3 hours difference.
So I'm just like, it's always
from the East
sat
Coast.
uncomfortably with me. It's always been a prickle in my saddle.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm just like, you can't follow you just have to starve your Mogwai.
Yeah.
You're like, sorry, mate, it's midnight somewhere, so you can't eat anything.
It's probably in his local time zone, I would suggest.
What the Mogwai adjusts?
Yeah. Like a human would adjust if you were suddenly on the other side of the world. You'd adjust to where you were.
Yeah, the circadian rhythms, Mark.
Yes. Yeah.
So you reckon there's a deep biological thing that you can reset a Mogwai's clock?
Yeah, I do. And I personally think after 6 a.m. you could feed them.
When the sun comes back up again.
Also, Gizmo, he was a nice creature.
Yeah.
He would know I'm not supposed to eat now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, he
you
was
could be
sweet.
guided by him. They were duped by.
Which is kind of weird when you look at it, because when those other... So after Gizmo unfortunately gets water spilt on him by the young Corey Feldman there.
Yes, Corey
another
Feldman.
little
What was
lady's
the
icon.
point of
Shout
that?
out Corey
What was the
Feldman.
point of that character?
Oh, because it's Corey Feldman.
Yeah, he's great. He steals the screen.
He just
Love Corey
pops in
Feldman.
dressed as a Christmas tree and
Yeah.
spills some water and nicks off, basically. That's-
Yeah, but he's just one of the local kids. But after...
Is that just, you think, a substitute because they didn't give Billy a sibling? They just said we need to have
No.
someone else in there.
No, he's the friend.
He's just a friend.
All those movies have the...
But that's weird.
The
then. What's
local
wrong? But
Yeah.
flavour.
Billy's got to be 6 years older than him. How are you friends?
It happens.
Billy doesn't even go to school.
Yeah, it happens. Maybe they're... Anyway, it's beside the point. The point I was trying to make was little Gizmo gets the water spilt on him. He, produces the 5, including Spike, who...
Stripe.
Stripe. And they're just, nasty. So... I guess it just, I don't know, goes to show that there were different personalities in this group. So he could have had 5 nice.
No, I think the shopkeeper, I think it was like a trap.
Uh-huh.
I think the shopkeeper was like, the whole, no, you can't have the gremlin because you're not ready.
Yeah, then
And then then it's like, but secretly we'll let you have the mogwai and we'll see whether you just stuff up.
Oh,
And then because then he turns up and he's like, well, you done stuffed up.
but maybe if you were pure of heart and intention and you deliberately reproduced the mogwai, it would be a nice mogwai because you were ready.
Maybe.
no, I don't think
Ready
so.
to reproduce. Because at some point that you have to reproduce the mogwai, otherwise there's only one.
I think that's just it, though. I think he was saying, you Westerners and your decadent ways, you're not ready. You should be happy with just one. Respect nature as it is, just this one mogwai. Why do you have to exploit it and get it wet and feed it and not listen and do everything wrong?
Yeah. It was a commentary and probably, let's get into it, Trace, because you were talking about.
Let's get into it. Let's throw hands.
That's not throwing hands. I'm not getting. I'm not opposing you. I'm just saying let's dig into the meaty carcass.
Yeah.
But
Sift through the microwaved remains.
correct, because you were saying the 80s was a decadent,
Yeah.
go get it,
Yes.
every man for himself sort of thing.
Yes.
Is that a commentary then for this? Is that film got this underneath it saying, you know what,
So,
you're not satisfied, you kept wanting
Yes.
more?
yeah, surprisingly,
Yeah.
yes, but only at the very end.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just drops that.
Anti-commercialism.
Yeah. The Chinese guy, ancient Chinese guy with all the with the mysterium just comes in, drops the mic. You guys are shit.
Yeah, he just
You're
goes-
running things wrong, and walks away.
I'm taking the mogwai.
Yeah.
Bye. No, I'm taking
He
him.
brought the money back at least. He wouldn't have you.
He
Oh,
did. He
yeah.
did.
I don't
yeah,
need your money.
He was an honest guy. He
was
wasn't
beyond
doing
money.
shifty dealings.
That's the whole thing. This movie is a commentary on capitalism.
Yeah.
Consumerism.
Yeah.
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 At this time of the year, this festive season.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, there's a little bit of a dichotomy in there, isn't there, between, Kate represents the people who's like, Christmas isn't always happy. My dad got stuck in the chimney.
That was a crazy story.
That was such a... I didn't know how to feel after I heard that story.
But that was the actual point. I did read that there was a lot of discussion about whether that scene should be in there or not. And one of the reasons was because people weren't sure, is this a joke?
Yeah.
Should we find this funny? And they went, actually, you know what? We like that some people might laugh about it and some people might be like, oh my goodness. And they're like, the ambiguity of it all, they're like, it's good, let's leave this in here then.
Yeah.
So, and it is, because you listen to it, you're like,
What?
Kate's a downer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you go, okay.
That was the sort of story where she should know. It's like, I'm not going to share this story because it never goes down well. It's my trauma. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Because it sucks the air out of the room.
It's a precursor to today's social media where people are like, let me tell you this gross thing that happened to me. We're like, we don't need to know. We get it. You don't like Christmas. We don't need the intricacies about
Yeah.
Dad broke his neck.
Yeah.
I don't know how he broke his neck and didn't fall out of the chimney.
Well, he broke his neck, but
In
he was
the
stuck in the
chimney.
chimney.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought he got stuck in the chimney and
Yeah, so
died.
did I.
And then she said, well, he broke his neck. I was like,
There's some like
Yeah.
to dive in.
he
Like,
tried to get out of the chimney, I guess. And she set him on
Perhaps.
fire. She lit the fire. And she's like, what's that smell? Oh, it's Dad roasting.
No, I think it was Dad decaying was the smell.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
Said Dad was
okay.
roasting on an open
She wasn't
fire.
smoking him. No,
Crazy story. What a crazy thing to have happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess Kate's not going to like Christmas anymore. Do you think Billy's going to like Christmas from here on in?
I think you'll have mixed feelings.
Maybe he became the Billy in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Could be. Could be. Could have taken a turn. So, leading into that, what other Christmas horror films would you recommend people watch?
Oh, there's so many of them these days.
Yeah.
Look,
Because this is more sort of like your PG variety, though PG in the 80s, so probably M these days.
yeah, well, I think I did read something that this was the main driving force behind the PG-13 rating. Was they actually kind of went, it's not quite sitting in the current rating structure. We almost need something different. I'd have to say first off would be Black Christmas from 74.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's sort of one of the early precursors to the big slasher movie boom. It sort of brought elements of the gialli from Italy and, it just an all-round good Christmas film.
Absolutely.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, what you just mentioned from 84, I think it is, 84.
Yes.
Yet again, that's just silly Christmas slashery stuff. Something spookier maybe that's another horror comedy one might be Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a twist on it's still got plenty of chuckles. It's still grown up enough that I think everyone can enjoy it. So this might be 3 I'll throw into the ring. I'll throw into the sack. What have you got to throw in the sack, Adam?
I don't really have any.
You throw in coal, is what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah. I don't really seek them out. There's the kind of holiday. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited by sort of Christmas horror movies. I haven't seen a lot of them. I've only really seen the ones that we watch. I liked that one that we watched. What was the one where the kid sees mum like making out with Santa at the start, and he becomes a Santa, and it was all quite sort of twisted.
He was like a department store Santa. It was very twisted.
Yeah.
Was this Christmas Evil? The one where he starts being Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas
that was
Evil.
good.
Yeah, Christmas Evil from 1980.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
That was...
He starts off with the best of intentions, just like rewarding good kids, and then he starts deciding he needs to punish bad kids.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Trace? What are you throwing in the sack?
Well,
You brought the question up.
I did. Maybe because I wanted to hear your recommendations. As for me, I love how Christmas is a time of like ghost stories traditionally. So I just like all of those old world kind of creepy ghost stories that come out at this. Well, they don't come out at this time. If you go looking for them in books, they come out. I kind of like those. I can't think of any one in particular off the top of my head, but just those old, Edwardian, Victorian sort of horror stories that you would, read from your leather-bound book in your study with your fire going.
With your brandy.
Please, eggnog.
Yeah, and the snow, blizzarding outside. That's kind of what I enjoy.
I did also enjoy the one from a couple of years ago, Violent Night with David Harbour.
Oh, yeah.
That was quite an entertaining film too. I quite liked that one.
Oh, that one with Mel Gibson was all right too.
Fat Man?
Fat Man.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
Something like that. And then actually, suddenly we were all going, oh, in this one, and this one.
Yeah, but
and then there was that European film, I think it was, about...
Rare Exports.
Yes, Rare Exports. That's something you should go check out.
Did you
that
like
was
that
good.
one?
Yeah, I did.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was so different. Yeah, I liked that one. So yeah, definitely go check out Rare Exports for a bit of Christmas themed horror there. So
I'm just going to put it out there. I think Gremlins is a little too long. I feel like it's a little too long for this, because the story is fundamentally gets the Mogwai, stuffs up, Gremlins come out, Gremlins attack the town, got to stop the Gremlins. And for that to end up getting towards 2 hours, especially for something that is more of a family movie, I think we could have trimmed a little bit. And look, I suppose I'm a grumpy old man these days, so I was like trying to find the balance where they're like, look at this funny stuff, murder, murder, murder. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm like, tonally, I thought it was really kind of all over the shop, because I'm like, why is Phoebe Cates giving them beer? And I'm like, okay, because that's a joke. All right, I get that. But now we're going to have a 5-minute scene of that with them playing golf on the pool table and
being Humphrey Bogart.
I think that's
doing
where
flash dance. And,
and smoking 5 cigarettes at once.
I think that's where it would teeter into a children's film, where it was just watching the Muppets, the puppets, doing their thing, and that was sort of, I guess, I mean, I'm assuming, for kids.
It was almost like there was the Gremlins movie, and then the ad breaks were kind of the Gremlins doing stuff. It was almost like there was two things.
Yeah, exactly. And when they're in the cinema and they're all watching,
Snow White and dancing and stuff.
And dancing and just enjoying it. And that went on for a really long time. Then, you have great shots of these thousands of gremlins sitting in the theatre and mucking around, and everybody looks different. And, there are some that are crazy looking and some that are fun. So, again, I think that was to catch the eye and attention.
And then
of
they go,
kids.
"Oh, everyone enjoying that? Well, we're going to actually blow up the cinema."
Yeah. So I think that kind of has a good juxtaposition in the fact that here's this extreme violence with just like fluffy, nice
It's
kid
cartoon
stuff.
violence.
Yeah, but cartoon violence, that's the thing. But even like I was saying, I don't think you'd get away potentially with that level of cartoon violence even. But yeah, it was, I think those elements did stretch it where it probably didn't need to. And I mean, some of it, where you've got like the gremlin in the bar who's like flashing like he's, this flasher in a park. Cool, iconic moment. Everybody knows that scene. But
Makes no sense because he has no genitals and all the other gremlins are naked.
Yeah, and and there's lots of holes you could poke in. Like, when did they learn about all of these?
Oh, you can't, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. But anyway, so yeah, that's all right, Adam. Put your sputtering away.
You're like the Lorax for the gremlins. You're like, I speak for the gremlins. They know all.
Yeah, but yeah, it was probably a little long. It could have been tightened up a bit.
I think it's also because we just, it was a novel idea at the time. You'd be like, what are the rules? What's going to happen if you break the rules? It takes a while for the gremlins to come on the scene. And I think originally back in the day, that was probably all quite intriguing. But now you know what happens and where it is, and it's like, let's get to the gremlins.
I always find it, when you have these fantasy shows, and most of the fantasy world you can accept because they've got their rules within the movie. But then you just have things like, how does Gizmo have a Barbie car that drives fast and steers?
Yeah.
And you're like, no Barbie car ever did that. I'm like, what's its fuel source? What is happening?
What's its battery pack like?
It was just confusing.
Yes, no.
So yeah, look, if I had a gripe, it probably would be that. I feel like they just kind of stretched the friendship for a little long there.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think for me, it's primarily a kid's film. And I mean, and I watch films from my youth. But yeah, and I think that's why I've never really come around to Gremlins, is because I like my horror with a bit more of an edge.
Yeah, I think compared to the other films with that ilk, something like Labyrinth, I feel that it maybe hasn't aged up with us as well as some of those other films have aged up with us. Like, I think, Labyrinth, I think, is coming back to the cinemas again for like a 40th anniversary screening or something. And you go, and exactly, people go, hey, I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah.
Because,
I remember when I saw it the first time in the cinema.
Yes, I remember it too.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, the Gremlins movies, it's just in the 80s, I think, isn't it? Like, it is, and it's not a bad thing,
No,
I
it's
guess.
a lovely slice of 80s.
But yeah, like you said, it probably hurts it a little bit when you look at it through today's eyes and saying, well, when we get to rating it, are you going to recommend people check it out? Is it really just going to be a nostalgia hit for people who were kids in the 80s?
Yeah, well, I guess let's come to that point now, really.
Yes.
What are we going to rate this film out of, Adam?
You're always a good one for these. What can you draw?
What are we going to rate it? Blenders? Microwaves?
Flashing gremlins?
I don't know. There are my two suggestions.
Popcorn bags? Floppy ears?
Floppy ears? Gremlin ears?
What's that going to look like?
So the
We
gremlins
could just rate it
ears.
Gremlins.
Can you
Gremlin
draw
heads.
a gremlin?
No, I'll come up with something. Yes.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
trying to think. What it's I think it's the key things. I mean,
Don't
obviously-
eat. Sunshine.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah.
Little puff balls.
Yeah, don't eat.
Yeah,
Don't,
little puff balls.
what do you reckon? Yeah.
What?
The
Don't
little
eat-
puff balls when they get wet.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've
out
got
of
little
puffballs.
Yeah, Mogwai excretions.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Mogwai
The
expulsions.
pupa stage.
The
spurts.
pupil.
Yeah. All right, fine. Little fairy balls.
Mogwai
Yes.
pupils. Pupa.
Yes.
Pupae?
Indeed.
Pupae.
Would you like some pupae?
Well,
Mogwai
I'll go
pupae.
first then.
Good on you, Adam. Lead the way.
I guess I'm gonna give it 6 fairy mogwai pupae. It's it is a nostalgia hit, like you're saying. I don't think it's not a timeless movie, but it is a good slice of 80s. I liked it as a kid. I like Joe Dante quite a lot. I like all his movies. He's got a great filmography, really. I like how he's got 1 foot in comedy and 1 foot in horror and sci-fi. You look at his filmography and he's got Gremlins, The Howling, Inner Space, my favorite movie maybe of all time, The Burbs. He's got all these great movies. What else?
He did Piranha, didn't he?
Piranha.
Original Piranha.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
So yeah, I like his movies, and this is one of them. But yeah,
6 fairy mogwai pupae.
yeah, good for this season.
Yes. What about you, Mark?
Look, it's scraping the underneath of a 5, so I'm going with a 5. I'm going with a 5.
The underneath of a fairy mogwai
It
pupae.
is. It's beneath the surface of a bubbling high school pool looking up, but it's closer to 5. And I think it gets a little bit because it is a Christmas movie, and I always enjoy watching Christmas movies, so it gives it. There's, like you said, there's catchiness to it. Like I said, I haven't watched it in quite some time, and it hasn't really aged that well. There's a lot of things that you do just go, this doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? But entertaining, absolutely entertaining. If someone said to me, I've never seen Gremlins, should I check it out? I'd be like, yes, you should check it out. It feels like it's probably, it's not top tier 80s if you're giving a list of films you probably need to check out from a decade, but it's maybe second tier. I reckon you'd probably, like, for example, it came out the same weekend as Ghostbusters. I'd tell you to watch Ghostbusters. So, it certainly sits below some other ones. But yeah, I think I'm happy with 5 excretions.
Okay.
Fluffy excretions.
Fluffy
Fluff balls.
excretions. Fluff balls. I myself probably would put it more at the 6. I enjoyed watching it. It's not, as I said, it's not one that I normally gravitate towards. But I did enjoy watching it, and I think it benefited from my full attention because, usually if it's on telly or something, you're kind of just like not really watching. It's kind of just on the background for Christmas. So I think sitting and watching, I got a little bit more out of it, understanding who Mrs. Deagle actually really was and what that story trajectory was as well, and the whole famous scene of her shooting out the window. So I think I would give it 6 fairy mogwai pupae. And as a Christmas film, I would definitely say, if it's on telly, leave it on while you're wrapping your gifts or, hanging out at home for sure. Yeah, for sure it stands that test.
But if it was showing at a local revival cinema type of thing, would you go?
No. I feel brutal saying that, but no.
You gotta have these rules and lines in life.
But if you had a 10-year-old and it was showing at some local thing and it was Christmas time, you might take them to see it.
Possibly, depending on the sensitivity of the child.
We lived through it.
Yes, some of us were more sensitive than others. So, there we go.
There it is, people.
That might be our Christmas special for this year. It probably will be the last episode that will go up for 2025.
Yeah, Gremlins. Wrapped.
Maybe.
Wrapped
We might
and put under
squeak
the
another
tree.
one before New Year's, but I don't know.
No, we'll lean into you or the marketing lady, but it's quite possible you won't hear another Gremlins thing from us at least.
Well, no, this will be the only Gremlins
This will
one.
be our Christmas special for 2025, our first Christmas special too, dear
indeed.
listeners.
Indeed. So we want to thank you so very much for all of your support and for just listening and sharing and just all of the comments and reviews that you give us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to doing so much more in the coming year. So if you don't already, make sure that you follow us over at Sinister Siblings on Facebook or on Instagram as well now. We are also there. And of course, you can download our podcast from any of your favourite podcast suppliers,
Podcatcher.
podcatchers. I was going to say something completely different then. I'm glad I didn't.
What are you going to say, like pod people?
Yeah, no. We'll just leave it at that.
Pod shops.
So, on that note, have a very, very Merry Christmas, festive season.
Yes.
Whatever you happen to enjoy or do.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.